This week, Ajax revealed that they'll be changing their badge back to one of their original versions after the fans have been calling for it for years. And this is really interesting to me because normally there's a trend of football clubs going the other way. They're going more minimal, they're going sleek designs, and this is the exact opposite. So it could be an interesting start to a trend that we see. We've already seen this in football shirts, the design coming all the way back around, and now retro shirts are kind of inspiring the new ones. So who knows, the badges could be next to follow. But anyway, this got me thinking. There's been loads of redesigned badges over the years. Some of them are great, some of them absolutely stink the place out. So I thought it'd be a good video to rank them. So yeah, I've got a bunch of logos here and I'm going to see if I prefer the old one or if the new one is right. So we'll start with Ajax, of course. That makes sense because they're kind of like the catalyst for this video, and it's a little bit weird because I'm now saying the old one is the one we're used to at the moment and the new one is the very old one. Confusing. But I have to say this old one is this new one that they're going back to is very nice. It just feels traditional, feels very cool. We saw in 2021 they actually used this on one of their kits and it looked really good then. So I can picture some of these new kits are gonna look fire. I'm gonna go with the new old one. And then going over to another controversial one, Juventus, the club I'm wearing. Funny enough, it's not this badge, it's the other badge that they brought out not too long ago. So they went from a traditional look to a very modern look. This felt like one of the first ones to kind of do this kind of big change into the modern minimal design, and it didn't really go down well. I remember fans being unhappy about this, and I don't know if I'm unhappy about it. I know this is difficult because I know people don't like this, but I don't hate this badge. I actually don't hate it. I think it's got some cool meanings there. Obviously the J for Juventus. The J is formed of a few black and white stripes, which is Juventus themselves, that's their identity. And also the blank space creates a shield like the Scudetto shield, which is, you know, what they're always going for, the Scudetto. So there's some cool things in here. It's modern, it's sleek, maybe it's not traditional, maybe it's not football. But as a design piece, I do like it. This is a tough one. And you know, I mean, listen, they should just be wearing this badge. Come on. If they just use this badge on every kit, it'd be fine. But where do I sit on this? Might be controversial and say I like the new one better. Another one coming up next, got Chelsea, my club. We went from the CFC badge, which is on all of my favourite Chelsea shirts. My favourite Chelsea shirts come in that period, like the 90s, where this badge is prominent. And then in 2005, on our 100th anniversary, we went with this new one. And this was kind of actually influenced by the old ones, the very first ones Chelsea used. It has that, but like obviously a more minimal, modern take. And we've had this for years since. And obviously I love it. But I love that CFC logo. But, you know, if I'm asking myself, do I want to see that come back? Maybe no. Good English there. And obviously next season, I covered in one of my recent videos, we're actually going to bring back just the Lyon design, which is cool. And yeah, I think that's what I want to see it as. I want to see it as like a throwback, maybe one off for a year. We use this old badge, or we, you know, have an away shirt that has this old badge. But in, you know, its entirety, the new badge is probably the winner here. And then staying in London, we'll head over to Arsenal, where this is a massive downgrade in my opinion. They went from this logo, which was just so nice. It's just got so much character, so much identity in there, so much like personality. And then they moved over to this, which just strips everything away from that, keeps just the bare minimum, looks very, I don't know, cheaper. I just feel like that old one was so much cooler, even with the Gothic type in there as well. Like, it just looks cooler. It's got more personality. I feel like that's what you want in your identity. So yeah, definitely the old one on this one. Another controversial one, we're going to go with Fiorentina. This one felt big at the time. They went from this diamond pattern that they had for years. Obviously, they'd flirted around with different designs. They had the F, they had just the fleur-de-lis, but the majority, they had this diamond. And then they went completely modern, geometric, almost like Pez looking. Do you know what I mean? This looks like it should be, you know, instead of Fiorentina, it's like Florence purples, you know, some shit like that. And yeah, they just took everything that we like from Fiorentina, like the city and the club. Feels elegant. It feels, you know, it's got the fleur-de-lis, they're purple, it's different, and they just made it boring. So yeah, definitely the old badge. But for me personally, just the fleur-de-lis is sick. I love it when they just do that. But yeah, this new badge, trash. Again, let's stay in Italy. I feel like Italy's actually got loads of redesigned badges, which is kind of mad, especially in the modern era. There's a few in this video, there's a few more coming up. But the next one, we're going to go with Roma. Now, this isn't a modern change. This is, this has been like this for a while, but I feel like it's an interesting talking point. So obviously the badge we know right now is Romulus and Remus with the wolf. It is Roma. It is their identity as a city, but now obviously a club as well. And they had this from day one. They had this look from day one. So there's that. But then in that 70s, 80s, 90s period, they had the Lupetto. One of the best badges in football history for me anyway. I love it. When it's on any kit, it's sick. When they bring it back, it's sick. It just looks iconic. I love it. So when you're going to talk between the two, it's so difficult because you've got tradition, history, and all these things are normally good, but then you've got Lupetto, which is, history, is from a few years ago now, 20 odd years ago. Where do we sit? I think I prefer the Lupetto. I just love it. I love it. Even in that kit where it's cascading down the sleeve, come on. It's just so sick. If I was a Roma fan, I'd be happy if that came back. Back to the UK, and we'll go with City. Another weird one, because City's badge over the years when they were forming as a club pretty much didn't change. It has the shield, it has the Manchester ship, it's obviously blue, it's got all these Manchester references, it's mostly circle. And then out of nowhere, they just came in with this eagle pattern. And it just felt so weird and jarring. And then I feel like then they realised and they went straight back to it. They kind of like Chelsea, how they went back to that original design, but like modernised it, cleaned it up a little bit. And now it's the City badge we know today. So for me, that eagle pattern's got to go. It's got to go. Where did it come from? Where did you go? I'm not going to sing the rest of it. Back to Italy, man. They've got a thing for changing badges, haven't they? Inter did it literally a few seasons ago now, and this is another one that felt like a bit of a shame at the time, because the idea behind these rebrands are to appeal to more than just football, but be more of a brand. So, this is where it gets a bit icky for me, because what they've done is take the FC out of it. They've took the football club out of the brand so that they can use it as a brand, and there's something just doesn't sit right with that, does it? You know what I mean? Like that, you're taking away the football from the football club. Why do that? Only for different reasons that aren't football related. So I disagree with this. The design of it looks good. I think, I'm missing the gold. I do think Inter and gold has really nice, like a partnership over the years. Sounds partnership, but do you know what I mean? But the badge itself, yeah. Getting rid of the football, losing a bit of the gold, you're just taking things away from it that didn't need taken away. So yeah, old one wins on this one. And if we're going to speak about Italy, let's just talk about the national team, because they've had loads of revamps of their badge. And recently, very recently, 2017, they kind of went for this modern look and this more minimal look. But then again, in 2023, they modernised it again. They simplified it again. They went even further. And for me, this final Italy badge that we see now, it just looks cheap, in my opinion. It starts to look like, Euros kind of T-shirts that you get from like club shops or Sports Direct and that. Do you know what I mean? Like when the Euros is about and you can get this merch. That's what this badge looks like. It doesn't look like a nation's badge. And it's such a shame, because Italy obviously have amazing kits, loads of culture, rubbish badge. And I think, the 90s ones, man, let's just bring back the 90s ones. They got the flag, they got the stars, they look sick. And then, yeah, last one I just wanted to shout out, and this isn't really a change because this hasn't happened anytime soon, but Lyon, man. Lyon's old school badge, the OL, it's a thing of beauty. They brought it back on a kit recently, and this is what kind of drew my attention to it. And I was like, that is so nice. It's such a cool badge. Like, if they changed it back to that, I'd be happy. I'm not a Lyon fan, so I can't speak for them, but I would be buzzing with that. It looks so cool. The modern one isn't bad, but yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. This wasn't really in the script, but I just love that Lyon badge. So that's it. That's some badge redesigns over the years. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you like some of these redesigns, or do you think they're shit? A lot of them can be a bit shit, can't they? But anyway, also, I've only gone through a handful of clubs here, so if this is a video that you like, let's do it again, let's run it back, give me some suggestions, what other redesigns can I talk about? But that's it, thanks for watching, I'll see you next week, and I got a big video coming next week. If you saw the promo, going to Villa Juve, in the Juve end, I'm going to be in the away end at Juve, it's going to be sick. I'm going to do a video about it that was coming out next week, so subscribe to see that. But yeah, see you in a bit.